And joining me is Simi Basu of STEM School Highlands Ranch. All of you know her as a cybersecurity coach and, of course, computer science teacher for secondary. But Simi is taking on a new role at STEM School Highlands Ranch, and the title of that role is Enhancement Program Specialist. And we're going to talk to her about that and what it means. Simi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jeff, for having me today. As an enhancement program specialist, I am working to identify, develop, and provide individual and group programs to support students and teachers in grades K to 8 with synchronous and asynchronous opportunities in field of cybersecurity, technology, problem-based learning, and also preparing our young learners like our kindergartners and our elementary students to prepare them for the future.
And based on your background, it should come as no surprise of this transition because it really fits your role, right? I mean, you've done this for the past 5 years at STEM, and then you did that before STEM with various companies that you worked for.
Yes, that really came in natural move for me because I have been into technology for almost entire life. And then in cybersecurity, I have been working with cybersecurity with students for 5 years and also working from K to 12 on cybersecurity curriculums and PBL as well. Because I have been worked in industry previously, so I had knowledge about industry partners, what are the gaps in workforce, because our generation, like I am still wrestling to cover those gaps. So I want our young youths to be able to see what the gaps are and work towards those gaps. So my goal for this role, what I foresee is to provide like authentic and relevant learning experience as part of like everyday learning here at STEM. I'm working on creating integrated curriculum model with, of course, central focus on PBL. So students will explore real world problems, challenges, and they will also simultaneously develop cross curricular skills while working in collaborative groups with their peers, with cross curricular classes, within the industry partners. So I'm hoping that with enhancement programs that I'm planning to bring in at STEM School Highlands Ranch, this will inspire students to obtain a deeper knowledge of the subject they are studying, and they will learn to balance process learning with content learning. So that is what I'm aiming for.
And are you still hoping to continue part of your role in the classroom as a teacher in addition to these new responsibilities?
Yes, I will still be working part time in classes because that is my core, and I will still be working with students and also trying to find out how best I can help students and staff since I am in the classes. So I have more experience and I can help more learning about what how I can support in this role. So pretty much this model, what I think is will guide students through a unique cutting edge experience and also challenge them to shift their thinking from like practical applications of the academic material that they're learning in each class, because every subject is different, but PBL is the core, and I'm hoping that with PBL connecting all the dots and providing students with a lot of challenges is how we can cover that gap at STEM.
And we've talked a lot about PBL in the past few months, that being problem based learning, which really sets STEM School Highlands Ranch apart from other schools because our students have more hands on learning than just using a worksheet compared to other schools. They actually get involved with what is likely going to be future careers for a lot of these individuals. So when you talk about PBL and cybersecurity and 21st century technology and adaptation, that all ties together, right?
Right. So PBL is nothing but a paradigm shift. Like we are changing the way school happens. Because like when I was growing up, like it was all academic and I was like, I don't know how to put it into real life. So that is what PBL in a nutshell is, a paradigm shift. And then technology, of course, is a gateway for students to enhance the learning environment. They think critically when we put them into, when they have access to real problems, they can put their learnings critically and use and apply that knowledge. And also, our vision for the school and is never stop innovating. I truly believe in that, because students create new and original ideas, how they processes, what the end product would look like. So it all depends on the problem, and they have like different solutions that they can provide with that. On cybersecurity front, I truly believe that we have to start young. Like, for example, there are basic lessons children need to learn early in life to ensure their safety. Like, we tell our kids, right? Look both ways before crossing the street, wear your seat belts, avoid talking to stranger. I totally believe that it's time to add another to the list: beware of hackers, beware of cyber creeps, learn about technology, know what you're getting into on the internet. Because with rapid technological advancement, children need to immerse themselves in technology at a young age, as we all have seen during this pandemic. But at the same point, they need to start learning these skills, which will be so they can be safe on the internet. They know how to use it correctly. So I am aiming to start cybersecurity from as young as kindergartner in our school, and I totally believe that they will do great in that.
Well, that's a big difference compared to what I was doing in school around that age, where we were playing the Oregon Trail, and that was the closest that we got to anything that has to do with cybersecurity. It was just a video game, and that was, very early internet age. So times have certainly changed, and cybersecurity is one of those issues that is really never going away because the internet continues to evolve and advance, and cybersecurity continues to try to catch up to keep everybody safe online. So not only is it good that you're going to be educating students about the various aspects of cybersecurity and the evolution of that, but also you're going to be guiding them towards those careers, right? Where we know that cybersecurity is going to be a thriving profession to come.
Right. I agree with that. You bring up a great point about careers. Like, let's look at this way. See, key to making sure that students are prepared to work in the workforce is looking at the blurring between fields. And what I mean by that is, no longer you're just a computer scientist. No longer are you just a aerospace engineer. You really, really have to have an expertise where you can work with people across disciplines. And that is what I'm trying to do with this role as a program specialist. I'm trying to fill in those gaps in between, because yes, we can be aerospace engineers, but do we really know how to work across people in different disciplines as well is a key to this. And of course, with technology, as much as I love technology, I have been working in technology for, I should say, like 25 years. I am scared of technology still, because when another hacking comes up, I was like, okay, great. Now this can be hacked too. As much as we loved all these smart things these days, but we have to be acting smartly along with that.
I think almost all of us are now victims of hacking in some regard. If you go down the list of the biggest hacks over the past 10 years and you look at what happened to Yahoo, all of us have been victimized in some way. All of our information has been compromised in some way. So if you're able to help guide the next generation of leaders to where they can put a stop to that, I think that there would be widespread support for that. The other thing I wanted to ask you about in that same aspect is STEM inventions, because that has to do with your job description too. If you can elaborate on how inventions play a role.
Sure. I'm actually so impressed by, inventiveness and creativity demonstrated by our young inventors at STEM. Like, there are so many students who are inventing different things every day in their classes. And not just our students. I really give kudos to our staff, because they are so innovative. They are bringing in PBL, or they are bringing in new inventions in their classes every day. And I hope that this new generation will be able to find solution to complex problems that your and my generation are still we are wrestling with. So with that, under this program, what I'm planning is, we will have, like, for elementary level students, animated stories. They will learn about cybersecurity design process, not just designing something, first understanding the process, how the process works, and then designing something, app creations. In middle school and high school, I have worked with so many students and we have created various different apps. So we are planning to make some apps which would be useful for our community, probably an app that would be useful for STEM community. And why that's important is, the reason why it's important is because students learn content in their classes, but they need to know how to apply it on a job as well. So when I look at an invention or when I look at a PBL, I personally in my mind consider that as a job. Okay, now I understand the concept, but how can I really apply to that? So as long as we all are working towards that design processing, modeling, and challenging cards, I think that students would be changing the world.
Absolutely. Well, Simi, thank you for taking the time to talk to us more about your new role. I'm sure it's going to be very busy for you, but it's also going to be very exciting moving forward with the staff and the students that you work with. We're all going to be very intrigued and interested to see what comes of it. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for having me. I'm really looking forward for this new adventure. Thank you.